Welcome one and all back to the LCS Proving Grounds. I'm Azelle, joined by Smax, Desirex, and our lovely guest on the day. We've got Solaria. How you doing, Solaria? You excited to be part of Proving Grounds?
Yeah, I'm doing real good. I'm real excited to be here. Got some really good matchups. I'm ready.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me, I know we were talking about your recent Challenger hit, but tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, I've been Challenger this season, Challenger last season, spent some time in and around the competitive space. I've been a coach, I've been a manager, been a mid lane player, played support. Like, I'm all over the place. But yeah,
Love it, love
I'm
it.
probably known best for being a Challenger support.
Hey, gotta love some rail gameplay, am I right? But we gotta get into today's matches. It is going to be a fun one as well. Obviously, two best of threes on the docket here for the day. It's gonna be a little bit of a long one, but a fun one in all actuality. Before we get to those games, though, we gotta check in on the community a little bit of, as we do, I guess, the Champions Queue check-in, because we have a lot of representation from the Academy squad here, is all I am saying. And I can actually really appreciate this one, Smacks, to see a lot of that move up from, especially Arrow.
Yeah, I mean, Arrow has been a grinder of Champions Queue for this entire year. He hit, I believe, rank 2 on the last one. I watched the game that he hit rank 2 as well, and he promised all of his teammates if they won, because he would have hit rank 2 if they won, he would all buy them dinner. So I hope to see them all get dinner for that, but if he gets rank 1 this time, then who knows what's in store for his teammates there.
Kind of nice to see some of our academy journeymen up there with both Armeo and Arrow. Of course, the mid laners take over. Got to give a lot of respects over there. Going to see him playing later, but you know, Academy climbing the ladder.
Got any thoughts on any of that in terms of the top 10 or even top 20 here, Solaria?
I'm just excited to see Concept here, honestly. I'm a big fan of Concept. I'm glad he's in the top 20. I honestly just amateur top laners. Some really good stuff.
I can appreciate that as well. I just love to see so much representation from Academy in Champions Queue throughout this entire season, throughout last season as well. It's been really nice. So that's our little Champions Queue update. But now we got to get to the bracket, to the Proving Grounds, because it's been an interesting role here. We will be spotlighting the lower bracket today, specifically because that's what we have ahead of us, and it's knockout time. It is elimination time here, Smacks, and I think especially looking at the teams that we've seen so far, right? It has been interesting to watch a lot of the development. I think looking at specific players, looking at SkyTech, looking at Sniper, these are the guys that you have to, come away from the journey in this Proving Ground so far and have some good things to say, Smacks.
Yeah, I know the reason that you and I have not been on a broadcast together up until this point is because you were scared that the amateur teams were going to keep winning, because I kept giving them all this hope. And, we're finally here. We only have one of them left, but we got to highlight the players that have been doing so well. You ever seen someone pull out a Vi support in a competitive match? No, you haven't, because it's only SkyTech doing this. He's 100% win rate on the Vi in competitive. Nobody else has even played it a single time. He's just too impressive.
He is. And also, speaking of impressive, Desirex got to highlight Sniper as well.
Oh, man. You always got to highlight Sniper, because this is someone you got to watch out for. He was basically the face of amateur for this entire year. He has got a great head on his shoulders, very serious about his development, wants to expand to all styles of play. Willing to challenge, some of the best top laners that we have in Academy and come out of ahead. I think he's had a phenomenal debut year in his debut for amateur. PGCQ Spring, #1, got it in summer as well, 2 titles. Top 12 finish for Proving Grounds, finishing above or equal to 3 of our Academy squads. That's a good start. That's a great start coming out from one of the best prospects we've had.
Yeah, it's Larry. I want to get your take on kind of the development. I know probably have a little bit extra to say about the Vi support for SkyTech, but just looking at the development as a whole.
Honestly, I'm just really happy to see orgs developing players and bringing them up and giving them chances to show themselves. But also, thinking on SkyTech, I'm just so happy to see, an innovative player willing to try some stuff on, a big stage. It makes me really happy to see stuff like Vi support work.
There you go. Hey, the fact that it works is actually crazy to me. I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. I know, Spax, you were saying you even yourself were taking the Vi into your support games.
Yeah, so a bit of a story there. Me and SkyTech, we share some ideas between each other. We're cool like that. I tweeted about a Arcane Comet Tom Kench rune page, and he played in Proving Grounds also. We're just pretty cool like that. But I decided to try out his Vi support. It's actually pretty good. I did lose the game, but it wasn't because of me. My teammates.
You didn't have to
We're
add
doing
that one in
something
there,
else.
Smacks.
But my Vi support did pretty well. I was like 5-2-4, I think, was my scoreline. I was doing pretty well in lane. The base damage is pretty good. You get some crowd control. I went Glacial Augment like he does. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm a
Okay.
fan. I have to try it out some more.
I like it. Well, hey, we'll see how those work out. We'll have to keep a tab on how many Vi games you play and how many wins you get. But in all actuality, got to go back to that conversation of the lower bracket, right? When we're going to bring it up for you here, it is a highlight on those elimination games, what we've seen so far in this lower bracket, Desrex.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few reasons why this specific end of it is so difficult. You know, for one, academy team, so it's very dense on that aspect. Higher expectations for performance. These teams minus 100A are pretty close to each other in the regular standings when it came to the academy season. But the bigger thing is every single one of these teams are going through their own type of turmoil, right? 100A, they had their struggles when they didn't meet expectations against AGT. FlyQuest have been in a slump since the start of the season, despite expectations being higher on them, having a fully returning roster that was successful in spring. TSMA, it's just a revolving door of roster changes. You know, EGA, for the most part, the lower end, they are having this PG boost that's coming out of them, but now they have to recover from the momentum that they lost against TLA. And of course, it's elimination, so it's not the regular season. You can't just have a draw and call it a day. Someone has to go home.
Yeah, it is a little, sad to say that the season could end here for either of these teams. But I think Smacks, when you're looking at the growth in this proving grounds from both NA Academy and NA Developmental, it's actually been incredible.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway so far of these 4 teams is that EGA is coming to this proving grounds to play. I don't think they're going to take the results of last split and their regular season results of this split too lightly. I feel like they're actually going to be pretty fierce. I know you said that 100 Thieves A stands out a bit because they did play so highly in the regular season, but we just saw Evil Geniuses Academy nearly perfect game Team Liquid Academy last week. So yeah. I'm really excited to see what they bring to the table here in this match.
It's really exciting to see kind of everything on the line, but as well as so many great storylines. The fact that we did have 100 Thieves falling so early, and they are one of the favorites in Academy, and see them here in the lower bracket, every moment counts. But like last split, right, the Dark Horse run, we'll see if they can do it again. But as you said, EGA really coming to play. And I think especially looking at the teams that we have in this lower bracket, specifically kind of honing in on Evil Geniuses Academy and 100 Thieves Academy, the most important thing for me is the fact that these two organizations have been so crucial in terms of resources to the NA developmental scene, right, to amateur. It has been so crazily amazing to watch the growth through these organizations, and especially to see kind of how these organizations approach development and promotion, right, Desrex?
Yeah, absolutely. These rosters, these orgs are one of the first to really start diving into the development of amateur. 100 Thieves Next did it back in 2020. Tenacity was part of that alum. It was incredibly potent, that roster was, because they tore through amateur. They shook the landscape. Now you have Busio on the other end coming out from the class of 21. Cubby's promised savior made his name off of making a role swap from the mid lane to the support role, and it's just so fun seeing how far these prospects are going, seeing the development that they're really bringing.
We talk a lot about the success of this specific roster on your screen right now with those 100 Next players, Envy in LCS right now, Copy on Cloud9, Yawn on Team Liquid, but like you're saying, it's good to remember Busio also comes from this team. 2 players that are currently going to be playing in this match come from this team, and on the other side, for Evil Geniuses Academy, they have 2 players in this match that also come from their 3rd team. We have both Surdy and Tomio, and that guy in the bottom lane, Shiro, that name sounds familiar. I think he's kind of big in League, right?
I don't know who that is. That sounds like a random name to me. I mean, I know Space Dad. That's all I know. You need to add 2 more names to that one. But in all actuality, Solari, it is incredible to watch these 2 teams work through the NA developmental. Sometimes, hopefully, to some negative effects in terms of results. But I think the goal is great to see from both these organizations.
Yeah, I mean, that's just also part of the developmental cycle. Like, not everyone's going to be an instant hit. Sometimes people need a week or 2 to grow. They make mistakes and they get better. Like, the whole point is to develop these players, and sometimes you have to, they're not going to show up first thing on, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah, it's so important to realize, right? In this scene in Academy and Amateur, it's still all about like working through, right? Making it to that next level. And there will be some very interesting moments, some highlights, some lowlights, but it's all about developmental. And I think it's so important that these two teams are at the center of that, right? Would love to see some more of that influence from other organizations as well. But these two teams have, these two organizations themselves have done it just right, I feel like. But let's go ahead and talk about the schedule. Talk about some of these teams we're seeing as we were putting such a big highlight on Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves. They will be our first best of three. Again, both of these best of threes are elimination matches. That first one will be kicking off shortly, and then we'll have FlyQuest Academy versus TSM Academy shortly after that. Any general thoughts just to kick off the day here, Smacks?
I said before how I was really excited for this first matchup, and I'm going to go for the long game prediction right now. I think the winner of EGE versus 100 is going to beat the winner of the other series as well, because whoever wins both these series do play against each other in the next round. I think EGA and 100A have shown really, really big improvements, and just within this own tournament also. I know for 100 Thieves, it was a big shock that they took that first loss against the amateur team, but it seems like they've bounced back pretty well. And EG, I think that series against TL was one of the best looks that we've seen from them all year. So I think both of these teams are really in the zone right now.
Yeah. Desrex, any thoughts on those two matchups at all?
I don't even know who's going to win this. I can't put a bet onto it. I mean, EGA, they're performing so well. 100, not exactly to expectations, but now trying to swing back into it. So they're both meeting at this crossroads where it's a very critical win just awaiting. And it's the same thing with FlyQuest and TSM. Shaky roads for them now coming at that crossroads once again. It makes me excited for this half of the bracket.
It does. Solar, you have any bias today? You have anything you're really excited for in terms of the best of threes?
I don't have much bias here, but I'm really excited for Fly vs TSM just because there's so many hard-hitting players in that matchup that, like, I just want to see who's going to shine, who's going to pop off and take the game for themselves. Like,
let's go.
I think anyone can do it, and I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. But if you want to follow any of the information for LCS Proving Grounds, for Academy, for Amateur, the home is on Twitter, and it's at Path to LCS. If you're not already following, please go do so. Thank you to everyone who's already showed us support. It's where we put all the content, all the game updates, any information that we have. So huge thank you for all the love we've already gotten, but please go follow that at. And that means that we now have to get to our first series of the day. 100 Thieves Academy versus Evil Geniuses Academy. And obviously a lot riding on the line for both these two teams, wanting to continue their Proving Grounds runs, the development that we've seen behind them, the organizations that are powering these two teams. But bringing up the roster here, I just got to say, it is stacked across the board. The Smacks, Evil Geniuses, you gotta. What are you looking for today from these players?
I am really looking at a few different matchups in specific. I think jungle is going to be a really big deal here. We have two relatively newer junglers in this series, both of which have pretty similar amount of experience just in Academy as a whole. Will, of course, starting in last year, taking the spring off and then joining again here on 100 Thieves Academy, and Tomio taking the entire year here with Evil Geniuses. I think both of them are going to have some really interesting things to look out for, and they both have shown some pretty interesting stuff too. I think Tomio was a really big part of that, like I said before, the near perfect game against Team Liquid Academy. I have to bring it up again. So I'm hoping to see some big stuff there. Will's been playing a lot of Lee Sin. He did just get buffed.
True. Tomio, the promised jungler, finally showing up here. Actually, in all actuality, Evil Genius is showing up. But Desrex, a little bit more about this matchup.
Yeah, I've been loving how Evil Geniuses have been performing as of lately. They've been firing on all cylinders. At the end of Academy, we were just talking about Tomio and Surdy and how much they have stepped up, how much they have performed. In Proving Grounds, it seems like every single member is here now. Smoothie having so much protection over Cowrie, allowing him to make these very, very aggressive plays. Soligo has been a fantastic team fighter, playing so much into Lysandra and Swain. It's clicking as a full unit. As Smack said, that near perfect game was absolutely insane from Evil Geniuses, but they're going against a very tough team when it comes to 100 Thieves Academy, which I think has some of the best members, you know, easily some of the top 3 in their role that they're facing off against right now. And it's definitely going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah, is there any specific matchups you're really honing in on here, Solaria?
I'm really excited to see Smoothie and Boostio go head to head, just because They're two incredibly good supports. While Smoothie's been here they've been in the competitive scene for so long. Busio's just breaking in, but both of them are so good that I'm really excited to see how it goes.
I'm glad you bring up Smoothie because that is our first highlight here, and especially when you're talking about the veterancy for this player, it's not only that, but it's the mentality, the positivity. I feel like I've heard from teammates of Smoothie in the past that is so integral to this guy's playstyle and the way that he influences a team. Deserex.
Absolutely. We Evil Geniuses kind of grabbed him to be this more veteran voice for the roster to try and bring it all together. And for the most part, it was seeming a little shaky. Now that we're in Proving Grounds, it's something completely different. Now, Smoothie is showing that he can clutch, he can be vocal, and he can save his roster when they die for the most ambitious of plays.
Yeah, I remember him roaming around that Lulu game that he had earlier in this tournament. He was just making every single play work with all of the Lulu utility that you know and love. Or maybe you hate to play against when it's polymorph and you're getting hit by that one. But Smoothie was making it work. And yeah, I think he, being the general on this team, that's what he was built up to be when the roster was put together. And we are seeing glimpses of that now that they are in those dire straits, now they are at that elimination match.
And I know, Solara, you were talking about the matchup in particular, this bottom lane, but I want to hone in on the memories of Smoothie, right? The highlights that you really see this guy performing on.
I honestly, Smoothie's just been so consistently good through every meta, every time we've seen him. I can't think of a time that Smoothie was I didn't think of him as a strong player on a team.
Yeah, he absolutely is. I feel like he's the glue to some extent, but also for EG, that is what is so important for the squad. We've seen where the dysfunction kind of lies for Evil Geniuses, and it's nice to have that kind of reassurance from the bottom lane in these moments as well. I feel like Deserex.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. You might think this is a Tomio highlight reel, but look at Tomio's health bar. Look at his entire health bar throughout this. He's still alive. He's still alive. Why? Because Smoothie is right there. That's what I was talking about a second ago. Smoothie complements these aggressive plays that Evil Geniuses are looking to do. Even when resources were down, you saw the Amumu play earlier. He did that entire play without Curse of the Sad Mummy, even lockdown arrow with the bait onto the stopwatch. So, Smoothie, he's been so successful. He's kind of taken Evil Geniuses, all the plays they're making, he's turned it into a daycare, and he's making sure that his kids are flourishing.
I don't know if yep, all right, cool, I like it. We got a new outlook for Evil Geniuses here. But speaking of outlooks, I'm looking at 100 Thieves. Obviously, the highlight player for today is going to be Jimian in the mid lane, which we've seen highs and lows from this guy. But, classic Jimian, he always finds a way to make his name known, Smacks.
So we were talking about this player card beforehand, and I have to bring this up because Arya did not know what a cinnamon sugar pretzel nugget was. And in fairness, Solaria, being from Canada, is not in the United States where we just make the most abominable foods. But they're real. You can get them at any mall.
Mashed together.
I like that in the explanation though. You called them sausage links, so they're sausage link pretzels.
That's what they are, because you make a pretzel, you twist it all up with one rod of pretzel. But if you don't do that and you just leave it out in one thing, then that's how you make the nuggets. You slice them up into little sausage links, and they're delicious.
All right, I just want to know what the average
you can
size
dip
of
them
a
in
rod
cheese.
of pretzel is. True, you can. But speaking of dipping in some cheese, I feel like Jimmy not as cheesy as maybe some of our other mid laners. But I think as a whole, right, this guy has been an integral piece. 200 Thieves, and especially his matching up with Will Smacks.
I think specifically for Will, he really does thrive when he has someone to roam around with. And we saw that in the last year with JJ when he was playing for Dignitas, and now with Jimmy in here too, they can really go for these aggressive maneuvers, go for a lot of early game plays. Now, I did earlier make a joke that Jimmy he's not even the best LeBlanc player on his team. That's because I'm very nostalgic for when Busio was a mid laner. But I gotta hand it to him. The LeBlanc plays have been very clean so far in this tournament.
I'm going to be watching a lot of the draft to see if Jimmy is able to get a mobility champion, because when him and Will get on mobility champions together, it is so beautiful. He's able to free up Jimmy, and you saw in the clip earlier, he actually put Herald down into mid lane just to get him unlocked, because that is a LeBlanc. You want her roaming out, you want an Ahri roaming out. When they're duo roaming together, it is such a threat that teams have to watch out for.
He went deathless in the series too. Like he did not die a single time against Taco Gaming. So big ups to him.
Yeah, actually incredible. And like I said, it's just one of those things where we put so much focus on the reintroduction of Will, Busio, obviously having so many accolades thrown his way throughout the season. But Jimmy, I feel like just has been that constant in the mid lane. It's been really incredible to watch his growth here in the United States as well. So, Solari, do you have any thoughts on that mid lane jungle duo at least, and how powerful it could be for 100 Thieves?
I mean, I love to see a mid laner and a jungler honestly work together. I think having the two players just roaming the map and taking control is so strong and honestly sometimes underrated for certain teams. I wish we saw it a little bit more, but I think they do it just so well. And Jimmy's just so good. I don't know what it like. It's so hard to pinpoint, but he's just good.
It's the Proving Grounds buff.
It's the
He-
Proving
he-
Grounds buff.
Yeah.
It feels like it.
He stepped it up in spring. He was undeniably the MVP for 100 Thieves
Absolutely.
Academy in spring when they made their Proving Grounds run all the way to finals. So maybe he's jumping back into that form. It looks a little bit like it.
For me, it's crazy because you always feel like you get the yakety sax music for a few plays of Jimmy because he just runs teams around like crazy. Like somehow he makes it out. He'll drag you from top lane all the way to bottom lane and end up baiting you into a team fight. It's actually insane.
Give me the line, Lizelle. Give me the line from on the range.
That's Jimmy.
That's Jimmy.
It's just too good. We actually did hear from, that mid-jungle duo so important. We actually heard from Will back in the day over on UGP. So let's hear what he had to say almost a year ago, I guess.
Step up and like really offer your own inputs, or would you say there's been a lot of mentorship under them of them just like letting you know this is how they kind of want to play the game?
They try to contain me as much as possible, basically. So they love their macro. They love controlling me. They love their base timers. But every time I play, I just play my own game. I don't let them try to tell me what to do unless it's like important. Like if they try to tell me on path, I'm just gonna play my own game. Whatever I think is best, I'm gonna do. So
that confidence, Max, it reigns supreme for Will.
He's the ringleader of his own circus. And what's really funny about that clip is that he was on Dignitas at the time with Saligo as his mid laner. Now he's playing against Saligo on Evil Geniuses Academy. So maybe some all chat going on here. Maybe Saligo can get in Jimmy's head like, hey, you got to put a leash on that jungler of yours, man. He's getting a little crazy.
It's always just nice to hear from Will, especially now. Like, I would love to show him that clip and see what his thought process is now. Or like getting to talk to him on media day, it feels like he's much more bought into like the team aspect of it. But I'm really, I love seeing the growth of player, development of player. Right? He was so confident in that moment, but now you got to question like, does he change that mindset a little bit? Do we see kind of a change up because we have seen the level up in play from him, Desrex?
I mean, we need more Will content to figure that out. We already got a little glimpse of it with media day. I mean, yeah, he's a little bit more team oriented, but Mazel, we did those interviews. He's still got a lot of spice, man. He's still got a lot of power, and charismatic as he be, in a completely different way, just trying to feel into that role of almost the heel of 100 Thieves, almost the heel of Academy, but he performs it so well.
Yeah, he really does. I think especially when you see an up-and-coming player like this, Solaria, and especially the fact that he took a little bit of time off to finish school and now coming back into an organization like 100 Thieves, you got to expect the sky is the limit at this point.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like Will is a bit of a mystery box. You never really know what you're going to get when he's in like an interview or on media or in-game. Like, I feel like almost his personality that he expresses changes just a little bit. And it's, I don't know, like, I love up-and-coming junglers. I love them all so much.
I love up-and-coming junglers
content.
that are aggressive, too.
Yeah.
It helps a little bit more. We actually got to hear from Will in terms of his high school experience, finishing it and coming into 100 Thieves. So let's hear what he had to say there.
So last year, I was in summer. The transition was like, okay, I'm on summer break. But now it's like, I'm here full-time. So the transition is like, it kind of feels like I'm on summer break, but now it's just full time, and I'm gonna keep doing it for however long I can. So
Just trying to take advantage of every opportunity there, Specs.
Yeah, he said he feels like he's on summer break. I wonder if he still feels the same way now that he's in the lower bracket. I don't know if he was really expecting
no.
summer break to be this tumultuous for him. I don't know. Might have to talk to him a bit later and see if he feels the same way.
See if we can get an interview with him, bring up the hard-hitting questions. But in all actuality, right, zooming back into this matchup as a whole, I think you have to set the stakes. The conversation has been fun, but this is a serious best of 3, right? Somebody's season is going to be over after this one, and I think that's where you have to look at the journey that both these two teams have taken, especially Evil Geniuses, Smacks, that have had that up and down regular season, but it just feels like the playoff is different.
Yeah, the regular season, I think a lot of people on Evil Geniuses would agree with me that it was not what they were really expecting when they put this roster together. It's not something that they are really too happy about, that they did have to play through that play and to even get here. They had to play against one of the amateur teams very early on. I think they were expecting that this split would go a lot better because they've got some of the biggest stars in Academy on this roster. I mean, we've seen Cowrie completely take over entire games on the bottom lane position, unlike anyone else in his role. And I think him alongside these rookies that we already touched on, like being brought up from Evil Geniuses prodigies, Surdy and Tomio showed a lot of promise very early on. I think they were really expecting a whole lot more. And we got a glimpse of that against Team Liquid Academy, the second game there where they went 20-0. I think that is more along the lines what Evil Geniuses fans and staff were expecting this team to look like. And I was definitely one of those. I definitely had them placed really highly in my power ranks. So it's good to see a glimpse of that. I want to see more too.
Yeah, it's exactly what we're here for. Both these teams really needed to show up. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit longer until we can get to there. We did have some technical difficulties, some internet issues. So we're going to take a little break while we get ready for Champ Select. And as soon as it's ready, we'll be right back.
Smacks here. We've got 3 of the finest junglers in North America. We got Winston Winnie from AoE Esports. We got Keel from AoE Ginger Turmeric, and Tomio all the way in LA for Evil Geniuses Academy. We've got all 3 of you guys here today because we've got a bit of a friendly competition here. We're going to be trying to see which one of you can clear the jungle the fastest on some off-meta champions that I took from a panel of judges to see which the best champions that we could possibly play here today would be.
When I had like naughty teammates on my teammates, I'd punish them. I'll play Draven. But I'd still like try to win.
How does Draven jungle work?
So you can do red to blue, and you can hold both your axes if you time it properly, like from crossing the red to blue. And I'll do that, and like if they're there, I'd like kill them.
You can hold your axes red to blue.
Yeah, if you time it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Ah, I'm
Okay,
done.
well, you can. No. Wait, I never ghosted. Wait, it doesn't make a difference.
Oh my god, I didn't ghost either, yeah. I'm done.
We can also just call that the practice round and then do other champions. Let's do that then. All right, the game begins now. I'm seeing a bit of a variation here, Keel. What's the usage of the heal gonna be for you?
Same as last time. Oh sh.
Is it more absolute focus?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even use my ghost, so I'll just go heal, yeah.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
We've got another pretty big difference here at level 1, everybody. I'm noticing that Keel's got supercharge, which is the E. And
Oh, I'm trolling. I went refill pots again.
Yeah.
I think it's fine this time, though.
Are you guys on your red buff?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not.
Not looking
Yeah.
too hot, though.
This is coming down to the wire. We're getting real close.
Ah, done.
He's
It was
too
close,
good.
Max. I don't know. It was very close.
I finished
it
at
was
344,
really close.
345. But no,
Yeah, it was like 333, 34, 35. Or 44.
It was Keel just barely ahead of Tomio.
Oh my gosh. I'm a griefer.
You didn't record?
I didn't record.
I think I played it versus Winston as scouting rounds.
Yeah?
Or
Orange
someone.
jungle?
Yeah, I played it.
I don't remember. Maybe.
Really?
a really long time.
I played it one game.
I
and
remember.
then
I remember it was
never
like kind of
again.
meta though.
I lost pretty badly, yeah.
Were you guys using a
Orin,
skin?
No skin.
Yeah.
you guys all have
Is that
different
what you
skins. Yeah, nice. You keep.
I mean, another one is a good one.
Oh, I messed up. I
What'd
bought
you do?
refillable.
I think, honestly, I don't think it'll matter as much.
You're pretty healthy
at
on
least
this
for
jump, yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it actually looks like all three of you guys might be starting on different camps this time.
Wow.
Okay, I was wrong. We've got 2 red starters and a blue. We'll see if it pays off. This is the first red start that we've seen. As a reminder, you do have to kill every single one of the little Krugs. So you can't, if one of
Can't
them
just run away
is
from
leashing
them.
away and it
You're
won't
cheating.
back,
Alright,
you gotta
good
go back
reminder.
for it.
I'm gonna craft a long sword real quick to get ahead of the line.
Do the extra AD.
You should do it, Tomio. That'd be very good.
I messed
I
up.
think I have this one, honestly.
Done.
Oh!
No!
I messed up.
I finished.
I finished at
Okay.
322.
322? I might be
messed
close. Wait, how did I?
16.
Huh? Wait, and you started red?
Yeah.
Yeah, he started red.
Oh, actually,
There's AoE. You know?
Wait, what was your
yeah. Mine was like 322, 323. Okay. This is about to be demonic.
So I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty important to drop the turrets so that you have the cooldowns going. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm not really sure.
I might mess
Yeah,
up.
it'll recharge. Like as long as you have one down, it'll recharge.
Alright. This is either win or lose me the clear, we'll see.
I'm about to see what's
Yeah,
gonna
it
happen.
goes.
6 seconds to Doomsday.
Oh god.
Oh, I blundered, but it's like not the worst.
I'm actually smurfing it.
Are you?
Okay.
You done 2 games?
Yeah.
Oh, it's GG.
Wait, should I go E on Heimer? No way.
It's definitely E second, I think.
E second, no
Oh,
way.
Tomio's
Really?
going faster than you guys, and he didn't take E.
That'd be so useless.
No, it doesn't mean
Alright,
anything
right.
though.
All right.
E doesn't do anything.
Oh.
I'm done.
I'm done.
I paused late, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Keel won again.
Did he win?
Like 339 or 40, I don't know.
Oh, 339, 340. That's too fast.
Not bad. 355.
355, not bad. Wait,
It's
I
LD
thought
though, it's LD.
did you start
I
red buff?
Yeah, no, I started blue. Back to Trundle Puffy.
Congratulations to Keel. You won all the rounds, even the practice one. So you're
Thanks.
definitely the winner of this
He just
game.
wins everything.
I guess
too
so.
good.
Yeah. Give us your
Victory
victory speech.
speech.
Yes, please do.
I don't know, there's no speech, I just, I like playing random champs, yeah. That's all I gotta say.
Nah,
what's
this
your
guy's too
guys-
troll.
what's your
Cut the clip. Cut the clip. This guy's too troll.
Keel's just better, I guess, Max. Keel's just better.
I know. I knew he'd be good at this game. I did not think that he would win literally every single round. I tried to throw him some curveballs. You know, we had the Ornn, we had the Heimerdinger. I mean, you heard it there. He'd played Ornn in a competitive game already, Ornn jungle. So like, I don't know. I can't surprise Keel with anything.
You
I
can't
don't know what to say.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
just beats out Tomio and winning.
I'm saying you got to play the mental game if you're going to play that one. Trash talk the entire time you are clearing. And you know who does that really well? That would be Will. I would love EGA versus 100 Academy in this one. That would be some content.
Well, hey, we got through all the technical difficulties. The game is getting ready to go. So, Smax, Deserex, take it away for the first time of the day.
All right, now that Mazelle's gone, I'm going to go look at my notes, patch notes. Smax, Ramus, what's going on here?
All right, perfect. We got rid of Lennon. Now we're completely unleashed, and I can talk about what I really wanted to talk about the entire day. Ramus got buffed. And for those of you who are not Ramus players, let me be your guide here. I am the Ramus expert. I am Mastery 7 on Rammus. No, I'm not a jungle player. I am just that good at Rammus specifically. He just got buffed on this patch. And it's all to his ultimate. His ultimate was by far his worst ability, so I'm really glad they buffed it. It's super fast now, has a lower cooldown, and you can use it all the time. And it's so good. And I think that everyone's going to be picking this champion. No, that's not going to be true. But it could be a counter pick. It could.
It could. So fingers crossed that we get to see the Armadillo hit the Rift today. Only a matter of time on that one as we do take a look at the bans that are coming out, already targeting some of the mages. Talia, LeBlanc not going to hit the Rift. Targeting Will, his most played, the Wukong, that will be banned away. Poppy, been so good as a tank jungler. But the first pick, Jimian, is going straight to Shurima with Azir.
Of course. Jimian has looked so consistent on this champion. We already talked previously about the Proving Grounds buff for this player, and Azir is like the perfect example of that. He's really elevated his play recently on this champion. It gives the entire team so much control, and I think it's going to be a big tool that they can use throughout the entirety of this game, and probably the series too. Touching on the bans a little bit, you'll notice that Kallista's not being banned anymore. That's because she did just get nerfed. That's the other big thing. Slightly less big than Rammus, of course. The other big thing in the patch is that Kallista lost 380, and she was previously one of the most picked and banned champions in the entirety of Proving Grounds. You'll probably not see her too much anymore because of that.
Okay, I do like this pickup that's coming out for EG. Of course, Solaria would be happy to see that Vi was grabbed, but just not in the position you were hoping for. With the Renata locked in, and now this is something that Smoothie, it is his most played, and it plays really well to Cowrie. Cowrie is an aggressive marksman. Renata plays towards that style well.
The auto attacks do give you so much extra damage. And you, of course, have that bailout to continue fighting even after you get dropped down to 0 HP.
So hold down
and the consistency, yeah. He's the mama duck. He's bringing all his baby ducks around, Smoothie. And, you know, he's got Vi with him, too, to add some extra consistency. All that crowd control is so nice to have on your team. So I'm liking the look of this draft so far for EG. They do have to break through the Lulu utility that is so crazy. Now, though, the Polymorph can really put a dent in your plans.
I'm so excited seeing this Vi locked in. It's been a long while since he played it. 2 months ago, it was in back in June against Golden Guardians, it was. So it's been a while. It's been a while since it hit the Rift, but we're staying aggro. We're staying full aggro for Evil Geniuses Academy because they just locked in Draven alongside this Renata. This is looking to be a bloody game to me, Smacks. How about you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if Cowrie can get these cash outs very early on and snowball against the more defensive lane of the Aphelios Lulu early on, this is going to be huge for EG Academy. We saw just how aggressive they could be when they were unleashed against Team Liquid, and I know I brought that up so many times, but it's just because that game was so impressive, not just how they played it, but their opponent too. Team Liquid hadn't lost a single game, first in the regular season, and EG blew them out of the water. So that's the kind of EG that I want to keep seeing in Proving Grounds if they are to win today, and I think that strategy does probably win today.
So EG right now are holding on to their solo lanes. I'm going to save that later for the counter pick. Ban away of the Lee Sin will not get locked into that. There's a lot of safety for 100 Thieves Academy so far. Pairing the Lulu alongside the Aphelios, it provides some level of pill and protection. The wild growth is absolutely amazing when it comes to trying to defend any marksman who gets jumped on, of course, with the assault and battery. I know I'm a boomer. I call it by the old name. You know, that's what it used to be. This is Max. You can refresh me on what it's called now. But, you know, as you do jump in, having that wild growth there, having help picks there, so much to make sure that BMFX is not going to fall. So, you know, great utility picked up so far by 100 Thieves Academy just by a Lulu pick alone.
But Evil Geniuses Academy, they've got that cease and desist. That's the ability name.
Thank you.
They've got one. They also have a second one now that they have Lissandra locked in for Saligo. The Frozen Tomb effectively acts as a second point-click crowd control that you have at your disposal. And that one, you can't really stop with the Polymorph. So it's going to be pretty deadly of a game here for BMFX to try to overcome, or really anybody. Like, you can catch Jimmy out of position as well. He's got a lot of mobility, but you can't move when you're in the Frozen Tomb.
And it's the Saligo special. He's played it so much throughout the regular season. It works well into a team setting where you can jump into the middle of a fight and just disrupt with the Frozen Tomb. Also works so well in a pick setting. And are we about to pair this up? Oh, wow. It is getting so frosty. It might be summer. It's looking like winter. Sejuani gets locked in over on that top side for Surdy.
I don't think I've ever seen topside have this much crowd control in their ultimates. If one person gets hit by one of them, they're probably dead. And then you have two more at your disposal now with the Sejuani Glacial Prison. This is absolutely insane. For one thing, they can kill anybody they want to. As long as they just look at them, they will die. But the other thing, they really only have a couple of damage sources. They've got this Draven with a lot of burst from the axes, and they've got Lissandra with a lot of magic damage burst as well. Not really any other damage source in this entire team.
Yeah, but simple lockdown provided by Tomio is going to be so crucial. Once that level 6 comes, the cease and desist, thank you very much, Smax, will pay big dividends for this squad. Expect to see them, especially once we get around the mid-game team fights, around neutral objectives, expect to see them really start to pop off there. But I want to ask you, Smax, what is going to be the reply for 100 Thieves Academy with some of the things they got? You know, double marksman, you got the carry, you got the scaling with the Azir. How does this bode against Evil Geniuses Academy's composition?
Well, they've got the Ornn, and Ornn is pretty much the only champion where you can throw all of those ultimates at, and he'll probably still live. So that's a good thing that Tenacity is playing here in this first game of the series. I think that champion, alongside all the scaling that he provides with increasing the stats on all your items, the late game is 400 Thieves Academy in this one, for sure. The double marksman you already mentioned, the Azir scaling, Ornn scaling. If they can get late, this is going to be good news for 100.
I just get a little bit sad that we weren't able to see the draft I was kind of hyping up during the pre-show. And that's when you get Will and Jimmy in on mobility champions. Now you can still playmake. Will power farm up and be a big threat, can scale up still. Jimmy and of course Azir does a lot in denying any engages that Evil Geniuses might go for. So it's still a strong duo nonetheless.
Yeah, I didn't get Rammus either, so we're both a bit sad for the draft, I'd say. Maybe one day we'll get the Rammus. It definitely wasn't going to happen before, but they just buffed him, you know? He's got 5 buffs.
Nah, they'd rather deal with the Freljord. They're happier with that.
We got some Piltover and Zon there too with Vi and then Renata. Nearly a full house. I think Draven's Noxian, so not quite.
Yeah, he is Noxian. Blood Brothers with Darius. Darius is Noxian. That's the only way I make that connection. Noxus.
Yeah. Well, the Noxian might in that bottom lane is where we're really going to take an eye, take a peek at, because Cowrie, he is the damage dealer on this team. He is the early driving force in this composition. You're going to be seeing a lot of Evil Geniuses members send their ultimates down bot just to make sure that Cowrie gets the cash outs. He just needs to make sure he has enough banked up in his adoration so that cash out really makes the difference. Holy, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, through the regular Academy season, nice little aggression coming out there. 2 flashes going to be burnt out. The cash out can be, man, it can be massive. I think it was Arrow in Immortals where he cashed out, didn't die for the longest time, somewhere around 15 minutes. He cashes out 1,400 gold.
Yep. That's a BF sword. That's quite a bit. And that's where we're looking for Cowrie in this game. We already see that Smoothie is willing to not even think about it, just flash forward with his Ignite and Q just to force BMFX flash. This is maybe where Tomio is going to be making a visit now that he's cleared his entire bot side jungle.
Yeah, Tomio going with the vertical jungling. Invading onto the red. Unfortunately for him, he's about to get some bad news. There's no buff there. Has the golem, so will convert over there, playing with this pressure that was applied coming out from both Cowrie and Smoothie over in this bottom lane. But Will, a little bit smarter on that end, did do the red buff start, now pathing over towards the top.
Yeah, now Will, he should know that's where Tomio is. You don't just disappear for all of that time for Cowrie and Smoothie. And he should be able to, if he wants to, make an appearance up in that top side. Looks like Tenacity is getting a nice push top as well. So maybe that is the venture that Will take after he finishes up his Wolves. We'll see. There's definitely no Krugs there for him in the bot side, though.
This might put Tomio a little bit behind. They're still doing the pings down there, calling down Saligo.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, this is going to be a straight-up dive. You're going to have the backup of Will to try and prevent this for 100 Thieves Academy.
I wonder, they didn't see Will at all, so they just called it off. Maybe expecting that Will could possibly be there. No, they do think that Will is on top side. You could see those missing things, so just wasn't quite confident that they could make the entire dive happen. I think it makes sense. You know you can make that dive happen once you hit level 6, so you don't have to do anything too drastic before then.
Yeah. Don't gotta force anything. You got the point and click for later. Utilize that when you get it. Will have his first clear. and be able to take his recall now. Now, his golems were stolen away, so he's not going to come home to anything too rambunctious early on. Tomio still has a lot over on the top side of the map, where the wave is relatively even. He's going to clear out his red.
And Will is stronger on the map right now because he didn't get that recall off. He has a couple of long swords, so if he finds Tomio, that might matter a bit. He's down a level because he didn't go for that Krug and he didn't go for the early invade either. He's about to find out that he missed his window. He doesn't have the camps available to him anymore, as Tomio's just going to be clearing all of those out. Will kind of missed that opportunity, but he's on the scaling team. It's going to be all right for him.
Now both junglers pathing towards this top side, where we have two tanks. Two very engagey tanks. Very beefy. Hard to take them down a little bit too early. I mean, a little bit too later, I should say, when they're able to get those resistances and get all that armor. But it shows you that we're going to have a lot of team fight orientation coming out from this top side. Once they're able to free out from those lanes, get those teleports in, they can be the big playmakers for their squads. Need to find those engages.
Surdy did go for the Ignite in this lane, though, so maybe we get some spice out of that one. Maybe? Thoughts?
Maybe.
Better than the pillow fight? He put some tacks in his pillowcase?
Yeah, I'm hopeful, but I just see two Bomby Cinders, and that hope kind of slowly falls apart.
Yeah, Bomby Cinder really is the body pillow of top lane, huh? Cool
Oh
little,
god,
perhaps.
you've gone straight Joshi on these Max.
Shout out Joshi. You know who else deserves a shout out? Rafa. It's Rafa's birthday, everybody. Say hi to Rafa on Twitter. Ping him happy birthday. Get the balloons over there. I'm sure he'd love that.
Good old happy birthday to the boy. Been in the scene for so long, alongside him. Remember the old Risen days. Happy birthday, Rafa. Enjoy your day.
The Geniuses are going to enjoy Rafa's birthday by taking the first dragon of the game. They've got an Ocean one on their side now. And we'll see what they can do with that one. Already, we're seeing the early pressure of this jungle pick for Tomio. He knows he has all this crowd control, and he knows that Kaori and Smoothie can get lane push bottom lane whenever they want to. So they just take that first Drake right away. Much more difficult to take these days, now that Dragon has an extra 2,000 HP, but very rewarding as the buff is stronger.
And decent pacing coming out of Tomio. Trying to stay on top of Will over here. Will spot out where Will is. Saligo going to be there. Setting up for the dive. Level 6 available for Saligo. Will have the Frozen Tomb. Going in for the dive onto BMFX. Focusing that damage. Will take him down. Smoothie runs low. Saligo gets out. Now going for another one. Will be Tomio. Double kill in the bottom lane. Will get that Vault Breaker to try and save himself, but Will gun him down. It will be a 1-for-2 exchange. Evil Geniuses making the play in the bot lane.
You could tell earlier on when Saligo was level 4 that was the play he wanted to make, and they were just waiting for level 6. Now that the Frozen Tomb is available, it comes in and it hurts just so hard. Tomio is going to be the one picking up both of these kills as well. Unfortunate that there's no Draven cash out, but he didn't die, so they can come back later once that Frozen Tomb is off cooldown. And Tomio's not even level 6 in this play either, so once that Cease and Desist is available, maybe they don't even need their mid laner anymore.
Yeah, at this point, you can go for the revisit. Looking for that camp to be cleared away. Let's take a look at Tomio. Let's take I want to see that EXP bar right now. How close to level 6? Okay, so just over halfway. Just over halfway before we get to the hype time, and we can see that Cease and Desist be put to work. I would expect something down in the bottom lane. Still got that flash burn from Busio.
He needed one more camp to hit level 6, so he's not quite there. Maybe he can leech it off of the minion wave. But just because he doesn't have that ult quite yet, Saligo trying to make his way down there too. No Frozen Tomb on him. He's going to be spotted out by quite a few wards, as he's now going to figure out. But this is already so devastating. You can already see that even though they warded well on the side of 100 Thieves Academy, Busio and BMFX still have the same effect. They still have to back all the way off and give all this pressure over to Kaori, who takes up a solo plate.
Now Saligo into the mid lane onto Jimmy, and Cease and Desist will land easily. Still following through Emperor's Divide. Jimmy slides right over the wall and gets to safety. Committing resources, EGA don't find the pick, but they will get some control over that topside river.
The biggest thing there is Jimmy, he used his ultimate, he's now low, and he doesn't have teleport. So this is going to be a setup for Evil Geniuses. Oh my god! Oh
Tomio by himself, too far off from the rest of the Evil Geniuses, and like that, 100 Thieves Academy are able to capitalize. It is their Rift Herald now.
Wow. Little overconfidence there for Tomio. No ultimate left anymore, no flash that was used in the bottom lane. it was a good play in the mid lane. It forced Jimmy far, far away from this entire play. No ultimate either, but they didn't account for tenacity and Will dealing all of this early game damage. I mean, Will already has an Umbral Glaive.
You gotta have those pieces nearby you. The rest of the evil geniuses. If you stray too far, then this kind of situation happens where the crowd control, this Naka, beautiful, but the damage, I gotta admit, I was a little bit surprised by that.
Yeah, I was too. But you can't underestimate the damage that you get from the end of the line on that wall. It deals like 500 damage really early. And Tomio, no armor on him apart from the rune shard. Quite a bit of damage right there. And, I mean, Surdy, we didn't quite see what happened to him, but he didn't show up nearly in time, so you don't have that utility from the ultimate. Smoothie's not quite in position for the bailout, so just completely one-tapped there, and Tomio's going to have to think about what he wants to do now that he loses out on that Herald, and it is gifted over to Will.
See right there, Saligo trying to spot out Will, and catch where he's going, catch where this pathing is, because Saligo would love to get free from this area. Need a little bit of information on where the jungler pathing is coming from. That's why Saligo so much into this river, kind of lingering around there. Plays to his playstyle. He's a team player. When you compare both Jimmy and Saligo, kill participation 65% coming out from Saligo, only 41% from Jimmy. But that's his champion pool, right? Saligo loves the Swain, loves Lissandra, loves that playstyle.
Jimmy often is going for a lot of flanks too, which sometimes just leaves you killing like 1 or 2 people in a team fight while the rest of the team is playing front to back. So that also is very telling of what Jimmy's playstyle is. Maybe less so on the Azir, but we know he's a big Sylas player. Ahri, the LeBlanc, all these champions that really do want to have a little separate fight of their own while the rest of the team goes and does the dirty work. So that's where we find Jimmy in here. He's still scaling up, though. They've got the gold lead very slightly on the side of 100 Thieves Academy, and if they just keep this going, they're going to win in the late game. That's just how this comp works.
Evil Geniuses will be faster right here. Trying to get a reset would be 100 Thieves Academy, but they're not even going to contest. Rightfully so. It's a Draven, it's a Renata, it's a Vi. Yep. Those things can lock you down so quick and, put Saligo over in the mid lane with this Lissandra, who's been doing so well so far. Looking for a little bit more, so some gold will be found back thanks to the Rift Herald being placed into the mid lane. Will cashed in on a few of those plates, making the best of this early advantage that Evil Geniuses have been able to net from the neutral dragon control.
And realistically, at this point, if I'm 100 Thieves, I don't want to have Draven on my screen at all. I just want to kill him as soon as possible and get all the stacks down. Trying it right there. They don't have a lot of crowd control here, but they do instead force the flash onto Smoothie. That is one step that you can use to kill this Draven, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Deny Smoothie. Kill Smoothie. Oh. Mm-hmm. No, we'll just wait for the payback to go on anyone and then attack the other. Easy peasy. Really cares.
Exactly. He's
Look
got
at this
the
right here.
stopwatch, too, for Smoothie. So what am I looking at, Desrex?
I'm looking at Tomio. I'm looking at Saligo. Saligo, every time I watch his lane, if Jimmy's not shoving him all the way in, Saligo's just hovering towards that bottom side. He's so much... He's dying to go towards that bot side and just destroy BMFX's day.
I want him to do it too. I want to see the fireworks explode. I want to see the big Draven number on my screen. Not because I'm rooting for EG to win, but just because I want to see the stonks go up. I want the gold draft to pop up and we get the big mountain. And that's what Evil Geniuses has to do if they want to overcome this scaling composition and get this big win condition down. Cease and desist is available in this bottom lane. See if they can make it work in the alcove.
Tomio's waiting. You're down a support. You don't have the backup of Busio, who just recalled. But BMFX is not moving forward here. Not even spotted out is Tomio. BMFX just playing safely. And Tomio, he spent a lot of time over there. Sadly, it's wasted.
Real convenient time to have Calibrum there as BMFX cycles to the green gun, gives him that extra range so he can kill out these minions. He's down quite a few of those, as Kaori does have that still ever-looming pressure of the Draven trying to find the cash out and getting all the axe damage that is so absurd. You're going to be down in CS against Draven. That's just how it goes. But BMFX, he has been doing a pretty good job other than that. He's staying afloat in this game. That's really all you can ask for an AD carry in this position. You've got a Lulu on your team, you're going to scale.
With all that pressure being applied into the bottom lane, it's clear that Evil Geniuses have an attack plan, and it revolves around the bot of 100 Thieves Academy. Now going to take the time and priority established by Surdy to try and get something a little bit loosened up here. And again, we are hoping for Evil Geniuses Academy to find early fights. If they don't, it scales so well for 100 Thieves Academy. Still good team fight, and they're going to look to use a little bit of those team fight tools as they set up in the mid lane, but Jimmy a little bit too far, too safe. Still Rift Herald spawning pretty soon, and it seems both teams want a piece.
No plates anymore, but the Rift Herald can still break apart an entire turret. And it gives the extra local gold now, so it's even more worth taking.
And it's chunkier.
Oh, Tomio's walking into an Ornn.
Right into the Ornn, he goes. Tomio with the Vault Breaker, but the fight breaking out in the mid lane. Jimmy instantly deleted in the blink of an eye. Now Tomio still chasing on Tenacity. Unfortunately for EGA, not big enough of a minion wave to really find anything else in the mid lane, but look what is spawning. The Rift Herald now hitting the Rift. In prime position is EG.
Did you see the cash out? I didn't see the number. I want to go back and see what the actual number was, but before we do that, I think Tomio will be actually starting up this Rift Herald this time, and Smoothie, learning after the last one, will stay in range of the bailout. And I think they will secure this objective. I want to know just how big the cash out was. Just at the top of our screen, I mean, we can see EG does have the gold lead now, so it's at least something.
Lucio, don't play with fire. The point and click ultimate could get on you. No, record time, and it is off cooldown right now. Smoothie also did not burn his ultimate in that last fight. And look at the Dragon Timer, 45 seconds till it spawns. Those tools will be on the table for Evil Geniuses Academy.
They absolutely will. The Frozen Tomb, the Glacial Prison. It's a wonder that we can keep the names straight and everything, but we've got our flashcards here. My Sporkle quiz. I go through it just to know all the ultimate ability names.
It'll lend me that.
You do that?
No, I don't.
You should do it. It's actually pretty fun.
I'm just playing the game since season 1. I've had a lot of time to memorize these skills.
Well, like, even if you know them all, it's good to, like, flex a little bit, you know? Like, hey, I got a 95% in the ultimate ability League of Legends Sporkle quiz. You wanna go on a date?
Yeah, flex that power. Flex that authority just like EGA are right around this dragon. We'll secure the third one without a contest coming out from 100 Thieves Academy. It's a Dragon Soul win condition now for Evil Geniuses. That is the third one, Infernal Drake. And 100 Thieves, they're not really testing their luck in these early stages. They know they scale up, but it does make me a little bit worried when you have that Dragon Soul on the table.
Yeah, Evil Geniuses have done effectively everything in their power to achieve that early game win condition. They needed to stack these early dragons so they overcome the scaling deficit that they will be facing. They need to give Draven a cash out. They've done both of those things. They just need to close it out from here. They need to show why that Draven cash out matters by getting all that damage down with the axes. And they need to get that soul actually completed.
There's a potential for a flank right here. Tomio waiting in the wings now, going towards the river. Azir turret's going to go up. And that's one of the painful things about fighting into the Azir. You get a lot of control with just that passive alone. Gets a lot of free push on top of it. So for this, Jimian will get a reset off of that, so will the rest of the Thieves. Not really worrying about their lane control. Still trying to play this very slowly and carefully as we take another look at what's going on in the mid lane.
Yeah, we got to check this pick out onto Jimian. This is one of the rare times where I really do like the Crown of the Shattered Queen. This is the item that he picks up very, very often as we see the 948 cash out. Kind of nice. But as I was saying, the item is really good against anti-burst, or against burst. It is an anti-burst tool. And while it doesn't deal nearly as much damage as a lot of the other mage options, I think it does make a lot of sense when you are against all of these ultimates. But you can still, even with that, see that they're still able to burst him down just because there are so many of these ultimates. I mean, it's the 3 best single target crowd control ultimates in the entire game on one team.
Poor Jimian. Just having a terrible day on that. And off of a fantastic game off his Azir the last time we saw it against Taco Gaming. Went 4-0-2 in that. Now kind of getting bullied out a little bit as this focus of all this pick, all this control that has been drafted by EGA, making sure that Jimian's PG buff is really being tested. Evil Geniuses now setting up towards the mid lane. A strong wave pushed here as they will be a 5-stack putting down Shelly.
Here it is. Going to be trying to break another turret. We saw Saligo, he's able to take first turret in the bottom lane earlier, trying to get even more gold onto their team. Ooh, Saligo. Testing the waters there with that claw.
Even just throwing it out.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going to happen, right? You might scare them into preemptively flashing.
I'd probably flash if Saligo threw his claw at me, to be honest. I have too much respect for that ability.
It's his Lissandra. It's his Lissandra. Yeah. I do not blame you. I would flash, ghost, everything.
Gale Force, Ezreal E.
Then just cry because I didn't take cleanse and I got caught.
Yep. I just realized that would mean you take Gale Force and Ezreal. Probably shouldn't do that. But, you know, whatever it takes to survive Saligo's onslaught and the entire rest of the team here. Taking that first turret in the mid lane proved to be a pretty difficult task, though. The wave cleared out pretty effectively by 100 Thieves Academy, and Evil Geniuses, they'll have to try again. Nothing too big lost with that Herald, though. I already mentioned that you get quite a bit of local gold now. It's 300 total on your entire team, so giving that over to Cowrie, he's still got a lot of gold in this game, and it's going to get even bigger if he can find more cash outs, because that's the other thing with Draven. It's not just a one-time thing. You can get even more cash outs and increase that gold lead that's already at 2,000 over BMFX, by the way, to even greater heights.
And I want to keep the topic on gold right there, because so much of the gold for 100 Thieves Academy is going to be on Will. Tenacity laned well against 30, did all right to get an assist in the last fight that they had over there. But for the most part, it is heavily on Will to facilitate a lot of this mid game and try and make sure he's sharing that gold over to Jimmian, over to BMFX, his late game contingencies.
For a lot longer in this game, we're going to be seeing more of those purple gun ultimates from BMFX, because he is the utility on this team. He has that long range engage that can set up for things like that Ornn ultimate, like perhaps an Azir shuffle as well. BMFX can do quite a bit with that. You're saying, oh no? I assume this is because of the Dragon Soul that's rapidly approaching?
This is where it gets scary for me, because for Evil Geniuses, all they need to do is focus down Will, and you've taken down most of the income, most of the damage brought by 100 Thieves Academy. BMFX, Jimmian, still threats nonetheless, only one Mythic, unable to complete their second item, while you already got second item finished by Cowrie, who has been cashing in. Sligo so well on these roams, almost done with that second item. But look at this, 100 Thieves are still trying to wrestle control.
Gotta watch that Ornn ultimate here for Tenacity. This is the big counter-engage tool that they have. It's super, super threatening. It's very large in this river as well. Tenacity's ultimate could make or break this entire team fight. Could set up for just so much. We do also have the purple gun from BMFX. There are countermeasures for 100 Thieves. They just have to use them well.
Zerdy on the front line, Tenacity. Opposite of him, Dragon now being started up. Evil Geniuses get it down to 8k, but looking for the team fight.
Here it is.
Looking for the engage, fighting on two ends. Sligo versus Jimmy, and the rest of the fight taken over by the Drake. Cowrie holding the line, getting low, has to go golden. Now the team fight being brought by 100 Thieves Academy. Looking to chase down Cowrie, flashes away. Already the first ball coming in as Surdy is able to grab BMFX. Will flashing forward onto Cowrie. They will get him, but so low is that duo. But they're finding more. Surdy falls, and suddenly 100 Thieves Academy pick up 4, and they will deny that Dragon Soul.
Oh, I was going cross-eyed in that entire skirmish because there were two huge fights happening at the same time. Evil Geniuses doing very well in the 4v4, but watch what Jimmian is able to accomplish against Saligo. Saligo, one of the very big and key tools in these team fights. If he does not have his ultimate down, he's not doing a whole lot, as Jimmian is actually able to find the flank even through the Frozen Tomb. There's not enough damage on top of him, and look what he does to Cowrie here. The soldiers are all in place, and then he's got the full shuffle onto him and the Renata of Smoothie, effectively evaporating the entirety of that bottom lane just by himself. The rest of the members in 100 Thieves are already so tanky. You're trying to cut through an Ornn? That's just not going to work. And 100 Thieves Academy, the fight that mattered was the fight that they won, and it was all from Jimmian.
Oh man, Jimmian and Will are on the same page every single time. Mobility champions, don't even need it this time. Just bring out the Azir and Graves and see what happens. They jumped in, perfect comms. Would love to hear how that played out. But 100 Thieves, able to out-wrestle Evil Geniuses Academy at the most crucial point, denying that Dragon Soul. As you were saying, Smacks, it provides some contingency for Evil Geniuses Academy on having a lack of scaling. That being there means it's going to be delayed for another 3 minutes 40 seconds, and that's 3 minutes 40 seconds that 100 Thieves Academy can keep scaling.
Keep that scale going. They can hit more item spikes on Tenacity. He's now level 14, so you can upgrade a couple of those items. You can already see BMFX. He's got the upgraded Gale Force. I don't have the Ornn item names on flashcards, so I don't know those ones, but I'm sure it's some goofy name. But regardless, it is a whole lot of extra stats, and that's going to help tremendously against Kaori, who's got that, still got that lead on him. Still got 2K. Didn't get the cash out in the last fight, though, so 100 Thieves did deny both of those continual win conditions from EG, and they have to keep doing it. They have to go back to the scene of the crime 3 minutes from now and deny the soul again to keep that scale online.
If 100 Thieves Academy deny the next dragon, I think that's it. I think that is the game for 100 Thieves. At that point, the scaling, too far big. You have to wait another 5 minutes to try and get that Plan of the Dragon Soul. So, if you are 100 Thieves Academy, you're thinking about that very deeply.
Yep.
You need to be the first one in for that setup. And what they did to isolate Saligo, I really like that from Jimmy. And he was able to make sure that Saligo didn't get a lot of splash damage into the team fight. Jimmy can do that again and still have the same impact in the team fight by diving onto Kaori. And this could very much be a 100 Thieves Academy game.
Yeah, you don't often think of Lissandra as a reset champion, but she realistically is. Every single time you get a kill in a fight, that creates a massive zone threat with her passive. The thralls just going forward and forward and forward and exploding to deal like 600 damage in a team fight. That is huge. So I think Saligo, he needs to not be on the solo flank mission as good as it can be when you hit those big ultimates. It's just not quite going to be as effective as if he's grouped up with his entire team, landing those ultimates and finding that first kill of the fight.
That's the thing, right? If you keep going for those windows, you're kind of losing other ones that may be laid out for you. So Saligo, he's going to have a window in a second, though, because Baron is being started by 100 Thieves Academy. 7k health remains. Surdy on the front line. But look at this flank coming out for Tenacity. Gets denied the call. The Forge God will still get the knock up onto Surdy. But here comes Kaori unchecked so far. Surdy's going to fall. Saligo going deep. Gets the splash damage with the Frozen Tomb. Instantly targeted. Has to go into Hourglass. Kaori raining axes onto BMFX. But BMFX returns fire. Will take down Kaori. Follow it up with Smoothie and 100 Thieves. They only lose BMFX. They stand strong. They are scaling and they will grab Baron.
The flank from Tenacity was everything. And you look at that fight and you see him where he is. It looks like such a non-threatening angle. But we have to watch that one more time because where he was in that fight completely gave the entirety of the fight and the Baron over to 100 Thieves Academy. Look at where Tenacity is. He is right in melee range from the get-go. His ultimate doesn't work. But you see, Saligo, he's trying to find an ultimate the entire time. The only person in range is Ornn. You're not going to kill an Ornn. You're not even going to get close. He's still at half HP after hitting so many axes on top of him. Tenacity's positioning completely put Saligo out of the team fight. It put Kaori out of the team fight as well. It let BMFX chase him down and find the kill, and it gives 100 Thieves the Baron.
And a little bit of a shout out to Busio. He exhausted Kaori on the only window he had to free fire. So Kaori just denied on that end, on all fronts. And now it is the team fight timer once again. EGA, one dragon away from Soul, but 100 Thieves will not allow it. Saligo chased away by Jimmian. The Emperor looking to hold the line and keep the Ice Princess far away from this dragon fight. 4-on-4, Jimmy, and now making that a 5-on-4. Saligo completely isolated from the group. Here comes the call of the Forge God. Hostile takeover goes out, only lands on the 2, gets cleansed away, and EG. Their health bars are going low pretty quickly, but Will has already fallen. Look how critical it's getting. Kaori jumping forward, BMFX will take him down, and just like that, 2 fall off a double kill. Tomio, he can run as fast as he can, but the Boogeyman Tenacity will breathe fire and burn him down. Ace going through for 100 Thieves Academy.
That was the do-or-die fight, and 100 Thieves Academy win it again. There's no way that EG can come back into this game now. They are denied a Drake a second time. The Baron minions are stacking up into their base, and 100 Thieves Academy are fully dialed into this series. The team fights have been immaculate.
They didn't even grab the dragon. They're picking it up as an afterthought. Game plan, stall out weather the storm, survive what EGA have drafted for the early game. Now they are online. 5-1-4 is Jimmy and Will playing that early game, getting so many resources, now being able to convert that to BMFX, who suffered in the early stages of this game. It was a great team fight to secure this Drake and make sure EG were no longer having agency in these fights.
You see the minimap and you see the big zoom out. Soligo is like 4 screens away from his team at this point.
God.
And he really just does not make an impact on this fight whatsoever. He has his Frozen Tomb right at the very end. Literally nobody attacks the target that he ults, and that is exclusively because of Jimmy's positioning. He's been doing such a great job of finding the exact win condition that he alone has in these fights, and it's making it so difficult for EG to actually get the engage off on the right foot. We know just how powerful these ultimates are, but you, at this point, have to use them all on the same target just to kill one person. The members of 100 Thieves are too tanky, and they're not able to do it because of Jimmy.
Pay respects and say goodbye to your base, 100 Thieves Academy. 2 inhibitors now taken. Jimmy and so beautiful his play has been. Every proving grounds this guy shows up, he suddenly becomes a completely different beast. We talked a little bit about the story of 100 Thieves when it came to the last split in spring. They didn't look that good. Second half of the split, they bounced back a lot of this off of Jimmy and proving grounds. Jimmy just pops off. Now we're seeing shades of the very same thing as Jimmy has come to play in this game versus EGA.
We know that 100 Thieves Academy have been putting in the work. They've been grinding together, especially after the loss that they experienced early on to AoE Ginger Turmeric. They were not expecting to lose that. You can tell it has ignited a fire under them and in their hearts to improve as a team. And the biggest thing you can see that in is the team fights.
EGA, it's feeling like their last stand right now. Smoothie waiting in the wings. Hostile takeover, looking for a flank with it to get onto 5. And that's what you're going to need. If you're EGA, you're looking for the perfect chain of ultimates. And a lot of this, I feel like, has to start off of Soligo and Surdy. Big Frozen duo. If they can land it onto those priority targets, we'll see if a fighting chance can be had out of EGA. But an instant knockup out of Tenacity makes it a bouncy house for EGA. 2 falling in an instant. Now the inhibitor tower under attack, under siege, and Tenacity jumps in once again. Cowrie having to flash away, but gets exhausted. This short-range Draven just can't get into the game without getting polymorphed, without getting exhausted, without getting gunned down. Now 100 Thieves Academy setting up the final siege.
Triple inhibitors here. The minions are pouring into the base. Look at the bottom lane. That's 2 super minions that are here, but Soligo, he has to try.
Soligo, big Frozen 2, but Jimmy and makes it bigger with the Emperor's Divide. 100 Thieves Academy, an exclamation point to end game number 1.
Proving Grounds Jimmyan is back for summer this year. Holy moly, this guy really knows when to step it up when his team needs it most. He flicks it right into gear. This is just not the same player that's in the regular season for this team, Deserex. It's a different player entirely. He's handed off the controller. I'm for sure of this because he is just elevating his gameplay so much.
Absolutely. Looks like a completely different beast. Proving Grounds Jimmy, and man, can we send that iteration of him to Worlds? He keeps popping off every single time, man. But, you know, credit where credit is due. Will facilitated that early game very, very well. It stopped, even him just hovering in certain spots, stopped what Tomio was planning to do. So, you know, you got to give that straight over to Will as well as Jimmy and this mid-jungle duo that we've hyped up so much.
Yeah, Jimmyan's certainly the flashiest member on the Rift for this game, but Will's early game was great on the Graves. Remember that early pick that he got off onto that Herald play very early on into that game. And, I mean, Tenacity doing a great job holding his own in the tank v tank matchup. It's not the most skillful matchup, but it is one that is important to win, and he did it.
All right, fun game number 1 in the books. We're going to throw it to a short break. When we return, we'll have our halftime show with Mazel and Solaria.